G'day, it's Woody, and it's that time of the weekend, time for our Wednesday workout of the week. But before we get into today's workout, which is going to be a really strong core abdominal workout, I want to touch on a couple of questions that a few of you sent me through Facebook and through email, just so I can clear a few things up. There's always going to be a few concerns, a few queries you have when you first start an exercise program, and particularly something that's as intense as Brisbane's Best Bootcamp. And I understand that, so I'll cover a couple of questions that I've gotten already, and probably each week before each workout, shoot through some questions that you want answered over the course of the week. I'll be more than happy to answer them for you, okay? If I don't get a chance to answer you personally, because I know there's going to be more than one person asking the same question, okay? So firstly, one of the questions was asked in regards to, obviously, breathing exercises. When you start exercising, it's really important to obviously breathe, as it is, in general life. But if you hold your breath when you exercise, a couple of things are going to happen. You're going to shoot your blood pressure up really, really high. That's not good for you to start with because your body's under a lot of pressure already. And secondly, you're going to get really dizzy, and sometimes some people even complain of seeing those little black spots. That's because you're holding your breath. General rule of thumb is you always breathe out on the effort. So for example, if we're doing a push-up, the effort is on the way up. So that's when you're going to breathe out. So a big deep breath in on the way down, big breath out on the way up. If you're doing squats, all the effort is on the way up. So big breath in on the way down, big breath out on the way up. If we're doing cardio stuff and you really start to puff and pant, the thing is not to panic, okay? If you panic, you're going to start hyperventilating, you're going to feel worse, and you probably just keel over. If you're really puffing hard, take a giant, big, deep breath in. Get the lungs open to, we only use probably about 30 to 50% of our lung capacity normally. So really get some air in, open up the lungs, big, deep breath in, and then 2 or 3 normal breaths. Then another big, deep breath in, 2 or 3 normal breaths. By the time you hit your third, possibly your fourth big breath, you should almost 90% be back to normal, then you can continue on. That's the way we do our training. Take a couple of big deep breaths, jump back straight in, okay? Obviously, a couple of people have asked when it comes to eating, do we eat before the session? Do we eat after the session? Do we eat at all? Most important thing is, each person's going to be different. When it comes to eating beforehand, I would always recommend somewhere between 45 to 60 minutes beforehand, having something light, nothing too heavy, some fruit, maybe a handful of almonds, a glass of juice. Those things contain some proteins, they contain some essential fats, but most importantly, they have natural sugars that are going to help with your energy levels to get you through the intensity of the session. But definitely, afterwards, make sure you eat. Your body is craving food. You've spent all the carbohydrates and the sugars, particularly if you're training in the morning, because you're waking up on an empty stomach. So you need some energy. A lot of times if you're feeling a little bit lightheaded, it's because you're not breathing properly, but also it's because you've chewed up all the sugar and the brain's doesn't quite have the energy or the carbohydrates it needs to function properly. And that's why I always say to people, when you get home, have a glass of cordial, have a glass of juice, something that's some quick absorbed sugar that will just get those glucose levels back, get those carbohydrates back, and then within 45 minutes of training, you need to have something substantial to eat, and there's got to be protein in there. You've used your muscles, you need to rebuild your muscles, you need those essential amino acids, which are in the proteins, so have some protein. A basic breakfast could be anything from maybe a cup of black coffee, right, just to give you a pep, no sugar, no milk. Have 2 pieces of wholemeal or multigrain toast with a couple of boiled eggs, or poached eggs even, just sort of smeared across the top. Alrighty? No additives, no sugars, no salt, nothing like that, but just a couple of bits of toast, some eggs on top. You're getting some essential fats, you're getting some good fats which are in the yolk of the egg, you're getting your proteins, and then you're getting some good carbs in the bread as well. Plus then the coffee's just going to pep you up, give you a bit of a kick during the day. Alrighty? So there's a couple of questions asked. Stick around, we're about to get stuck into our Wednesday workout of the week. Like I said, it's going to be all core exercises. I'm going to show you 5 exercises, and then we'll get started and we'll see how you go. As always, make sure you like, rate and comment the video below. But other than that, stick around, we'll get into our workout.